Narcissists are scared of you if they can't stop harassing you, thus you should use some of this trick. Narcissists are self-absorbed extremists. Constantly giving their best is a requirement. They have excellent vision and can continuously scan their surroundings for prey. Their greatness is undeniable. No matter how much you try to reject it, they will make sure of it for you without a doubt. If you don't want to anger a narcissist, you should avoid putting them down in front of or to them. Narcissists might also become enraged if you credit someone else, claiming that everyone should have praised them. You'll feel bad about what you said and want to make amends eventually. Therefore, the following list of tactics is sure to irritate narcissists. However, only those who are very certain they won't be hurt should press on. The following tips will help you deal with a toxic and bothersome narcissist. Before approaching the narcissist, make sure you're feeling confident and safe. These methods are useful when dealing with narcissists who are manipulative rather than aggressive. You shouldn't utilize these techniques with extreme narcissists because they are more likely to resort to violence. In that situation, you should keep your distance from them. If you or someone with you is in danger from a violent person, please take extra precautions. Our mutual comprehension allows us to move forward. First, you must speak the truth. When dealing with a self-destructive narcissist, the truth is one of the few things that may genuinely infuriate them. I won't try to gloss over the facts here. What this entails is frankness in its purest form. Believe me, I came from a family where narcissism was the norm in childhood. There are those I've dated and those I've worked with. The truth is, I always speak what's on my mind, and that's what really got under their skin. When talking to a narcissist, no one else can speak up or share their opinion. You could feel at ease if you were in their position, but you definitely shouldn't. Furthermore, consider how remarkable this fact is. Truth, having its vibratory frequency, is 1,000 times more potent than any lie. Another way of putting it is that the truth always emerges victorious. As things are, it's practically inevitable. Those of us who are honest and straightforward in our work have a hard time communicating with destructive narcissists. Even when we're not talking, people still seem to get the willies for reasons we can't explain. Since then, there has been a lot of progress in our industry, particularly in precision. Since narcissists are hypersensitive to that range, even the possibility of it triggering them causes them extreme distress. At the very least, this may shed light on their dishonesty. For this reason, it's crucial to be completely forthright with oneself. Narcissists are so used to manipulating others that this kind of openness is foreign to them. Narcissists often lie to individuals close to them in an effort to boost their own self-esteem. They will likely depart when you tell them the truth, things that no one else is willing to say to their face. And once they've gotten themselves trapped, there's only one way out: escape. Assuredly, the truth is always good enough. In case you're having trouble imagining the potential in the truth, please keep that in mind at all times. Second, you need to disregard them entirely. Disregard them is the best medicine for driving a destructive narcissist crazy. Narcissists consider it perfectly acceptable to treat others with dislike and hatred, regardless of whether or not their targets have done anything to warrant such treatment. The other side is that when the tables are turned, chaos ensues. They are at a loss for words. One set of regulations applies to you but not to me. This is a classic case of the double standard. One who has no interest in narcissists, seeing them as pure ruse, must drive them crazy. Third, keep rejecting them until they eventually reach rock bottom. One last problem is being exposed to the elements. For a narcissist, there is nothing more insulting than being ignored. The good news is that both of these goals can be easily attained. They must be easily accessible. You could easily understand their poisoned chit-chat, for instance. Tell them exactly how you feel in a few words, like, "No need to tell me about that. It's none of my business." Or, "Anything you said doesn't matter to me." Because of this, their shady dealings are now out in the open. No further dialogue is required at this time. You may point out their blatant incompetence or hyperbole, or expose their covert hostility. Don't lose your temper, no matter what occurs. A different option is to remain in the shadows while the narcissist flaunts their true colours. They may feel exposed and humiliated if you ask them a straightforward question in front of others that they cannot truthfully answer. Fourth, let them know they're being watched. Don't waste time explaining, instead show that you crave unease. The most critical factors are your internal state and your public persona. Doing so demonstrates an exceptional ability to read narcissists like a book. Their spines are sure to tingle at the sound of these words. It will be a crushing blow to their ego if they are exposed to the weak, incompetent, inferior beings they indeed are. That's enough to drive even the most narcissistic person crazy. Narcissists are irritated when they feel they have lost control, and become even more so when their card is exposed. That's about all for this video. Since you've watched this far, thank you for your time and interest. I do hope you find the video informative. Please share your experiences with narcissists in relationships if you have any. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified whenever we upload new videos. If you enjoyed this one and want to see more content of it, give a like and leave a comment below. Thank you. This is what will happen if a narcissist is gaslighting you. Today, we'll talk about gaslighting, a form of abuse used by narcissists that can subtly present itself across mental, emotional, and spiritual realms. The use of gaslighting techniques is characteristic of narcissistic abuse. Someone is gaslighting you if they can get you to question your beliefs, memories, and identity to the point where you start questioning your sanity. Narcissists achieve their goals through lying, exaggerating, denying, and manipulating others. Emotional manipulation occurs when someone who is emotionally close to you, such as a partner or a friend, acts intentionally to cause emotional distress. Making the victim accept responsibility for their misfortune due to gaslighting is a form of abuse that can have lasting effects on the victim's feelings and worldview. Why? To flip the cake onto the other is the Spanish equivalent of the English phrase to gaslight, which is an idiomatic term for another idiomatic expression. One strategy to cope with vulnerability is to divert attention from one's flaws to those of one's opponent, usually by a particularly cunning or novel attack. Shocking propensity to use inappropriate language in everyday discourse. Those who have been through something similar may find it difficult, if not impossible, to make sensible decisions due to a lack of trust in their emotional talents. A smokescreen, or smoke curtain, refers to this deceptive tactic, a tactic used to hide something or someone from the general public. Even if people consistently behave and adhere to rules, it is impossible to know if something is being concealed surreptitiously for one's convenience. Even if it takes some time, the truth will emerge. Gaslighting is a sort of psychological manipulation in which one person leads another to question the integrity of their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Abusers commonly utilize tactics like making their victims question their sanity and memory in an effort to keep them under their control. Emotional intelligence and perceptual understanding are more important than academic credentials, and professional experience could reinforce the victims' and bystanders' belief that the abuser is right. They attribute the issue to the target, believing that they are experiencing similar issues due to incorrect perceptions or mistaken recollections. A liar's purpose is to make you doubt your beliefs and the reality you see when you take a step back and examine the situation dispassionately. You can get the label of being too sensitive or too easily hurt by others. Narcissists worry a lot about being exposed because they are so preoccupied with themselves. Damage from narcissists' gaslighting, especially within toxic and dysfunctional family systems, can be difficult to overcome and take a long time. The purpose of gaslighting is to instill fear, doubt, and worry in the targeted individual. Both the abuser, or gaslighter, and the victim, or gaslighted, are involved in a gaslighting exchange, even though the victim might not realize it. Anyone can be gaslit, regardless of intelligence or experience. Regardless of what the abuser claims regarding your health, they are not telling the truth. Because of your generosity and lack of self-interest, you are more likely to be mistreated. When abuse is commonplace throughout a person's life, that person may begin to blame themselves for their predicament from an early age. When you're an empath, and you know that you wouldn't treat anyone else the way they've treated you, it isn't easy to comprehend why they would treat you badly. Those with a higher propensity for harmful behavior due to narcissism will not get our help. Nobody involved gives a hoot about you. If you're being mistreated, you must speak up about it, or else the abuser will keep using gaslighting tactics and finding someone else to blame. Gaslighting occurs when someone intentionally puts you in an awkward situation or presses you to justify or explain your actions. Even if someone seems honest, they may lie through their behavior or words. As a result, you may feel uneasiness around new people. You ask for more trouble when you need to explain, apologize, or defend yourself frequently, even when you are correct. Envision a scenario in which you have trouble accepting your emotions, thoughts, memories, and sanity. If you said yes, you're definitely a regular gaslight victim. Hence, gaslighting comprises lying, manipulation, and deception to obtain power and influence over another individual. In gaslighting, the target is subjected to persistent efforts to alter their state of mind, to gain control over their emotions and thoughts. The situation becomes more challenging whenever there is a communication breakdown or a misunderstanding. The individual you think is gaslighting you might see value in continuing the behavior pattern you've observed with that person or those people. You can see how widespread this misconception is by how often the phrase "simply another misunderstanding" describes the supposed misunderstanding. Learn if there's somebody that makes you uncomfortable, or if you need to make peace with yourself. Is it routine for you to offer a fabricated justification whenever something goes wrong? Is it important to them that you and other people think you're crazy? Think about it. Like other forms of prolonged emotional abuse, their gaslighting causes the victim to question their thoughts and recollections. Pay attention to your body and do what it tells you. You should be looking for indicators that the narcissist is shifting the blame away from themselves and others. They are quick to blame us for anything negative in their lives, even love partnerships. They take pleasure in defaming us and spreading false information. Their main objective is to make everyone think they're superior to us average folk. Relationships deteriorate when one partner repeatedly belittles the other, treating them as if they aren't paying attention, or, worse, as if they are stupid, silly, inadequate, or inferior. People who behave in this way are either cunning or cruel. If you're a decent person, the narcissist can spend all day attempting to gaslight you, but you'll see through it. People will come to believe they are unlovable if they often hear that they are unlovable. It's not hard to see how this could motivate people to improve themselves in order to receive the adoration, admiration, and esteem they've always craved. Alas, reality does not operate that way. The narcissist may have an increase in a sense of superiority and control. No matter how familiar you are with the term gaslighting or the behavior it describes, I want to reassure you, you do not have to put up with it. No one has the right to probe into another person's private life in order to assess how they are doing emotionally or mentally at home or at the office. Remember that you do not have to go through this ordeal by yourself. Your decision is final. It is not acceptable to make someone feel crazy, wrong, or inadequate because of their past or the perspective they have on the world. They keep behaving in the same way you do, even when it has nothing to do with you. They're both lying to you and to each other. Their word doesn't mean anything because they're all lying to you. Just chill down in your own skin and extend that respect to everyone around you. I hope this brief explanation is of some use. In the comments, please share your ideas and stories. If you've made it this far, I appreciate your attention. As a result, I want to put more effort into future videos to make their explanations more accessible and understandable. Again, I appreciate your taking the time to watch. Your interest is greatly appreciated. Good day, everyone. Very worrying, this is what will happen to narcissists as their biggest fear is being exposed. Narcissists put on a sense of superiority to persuade people that they are more intelligent and more capable than average. However, despite outward looks, they do have several legitimate concerns, one in particular lending an aura of anxiety to their days. Narcissists are extremely vain and self-absorbed, and this is an understatement. We center our lives on them as if they were no big deal, or so they think. While narcissists frequently appear to have sound judgment and keen perception, they are engaged in a never-ending battle with their irrational beliefs and practices. Their belief in what is true is constantly at odds with what they have reason to believe is untrue. When people are violent and exploitative, they usually feel they aren't getting the same treatment back. In the minds of narcissists, everyone they come into contact with is out to get them, and they have to initiate conflict at every given moment. Nonetheless, where did they get that notion from? A few common misunderstandings about this topic warrant rebuttal today. Okay, so now I want to talk about the narcissist's perspective on you, as a reflection of themselves. Explain the relationship between this impulse and the narcissist's need to be in charge, and how it manifests itself in their closest relationships. Thanks for listening to the end. I know it was worth it to you. Narcissists typically try to place the blame for their problems, bad attitudes, etc., on those closest to them. This behavior indicates that they are unwilling to own up to their mistakes and instead attempt to place blame. Conversely, narcissists tend to believe that their neighbors have it in for them. Because of this, individuals are more likely to engage in dishonest behavior when they are with others. In order to ward off a non-existent but very real danger, narcissists are always on guard. Plainly expressed, they merely have a propensity towards paranoia. Constantly worrying that other people don't like you or are plotting your destruction is a classic symptom of paranoia. Naturally, it's not just narcissists who have this problem, but let's pretend so for the time being. When you spend enough time with a narcissist, you'll discover that they have trouble trusting others and aren't grateful for the support of those closest to them. They may aim to communicate a serious undercurrent of wrath or sarcasm behind their humorous exterior. However, the population at large seems to assume they are joking. To hide their true emotions, narcissists often use cruel or demeaning humor. To them, existence is a game, and they assume that everyone else feels the same way. They think everyone else is as dishonest and malicious toward others as they are, always looking for ways to deceive and take advantage of people. Because of this, A narcissist's ultimate goal is to cause trouble whenever feasible. The single goal is to be successful. That's why they need to be ready for anything at all times. Even if they have zero faith in other people at the moment, they must restore it. They who possess the most knowledge will ultimately prevail. Narcissists will consider you an enemy and everyone a potential competitor because they think everyone else is out to get them and is precisely like them. They have good reason to be wary of you, and their paranoia doesn't help matters. The more time passes, the more hatred and disdain they will have for you. Since they are incapable of joy themselves, they refuse to believe that anybody else could experience it. They need approval from society at large to ensure their continued survival. They struggle to understand that each person is unique. The truth that you are superior to them is difficult for them to accept. Sometimes people will hurt you on purpose to see what kind of person you really are. That is how intent they are on causing you irritation. They intended to make you feel horrible about yourself through their accusations and finger-pointing. You're feeling confused and down because they are meddling. The narcissist will do whatever it takes to destroy any evidence of your superiority over them. Your hostility against them may be mirrored in your own heart. Narcissist abuse victims often mirror the paranoia of their abuser. Experts at placing the blame on others for their difficulties, narcissists are a common personality type. You can't be around a narcissist for very long before you start to feel like you're being dragged into their world and being turned into whatever it is that the narcissist wants. Some people may tell you that being in a relationship with a narcissist has made you into a narcissistic flea because of the negative tendencies they observed in you. Yet we are not what the narcissist imagines us to be, and we can get past this if we work hard and love ourselves. A narcissist is dependent on our accepting their inflated self-image. On the other hand, the narcissist will forever be identified by their paranoia and other negative traits. Narcissists' paranoia makes them hypervigilant. Critiques from others can be particularly damaging to narcissists. What they've lived through alters their outlook on life and the people in it. Since paranoia permeates every facet of their lives, they move at a glacial pace. Narcissism, to me, is best described as a ball of terrible energy, and that image is particularly helpful when attempting to sum up my emotions on the subject. Anxiety controls the narcissist's actions. However, once they learn there is nothing to be afraid of, their panic quickly dissipates. Until the narcissist releases power, they will continue to view you as innocuous. They consider this competition a means to establish their superiority over the competition. Narcissists are the clear source of both debilitating worry and unhealthy food cravings. The truth is hidden from them because they are too terrified of it to look at it squarely in the face. Furthermore, it deceives narcissists into thinking their enemy is external when, in fact, it is within. This is the end of the video. Please express your views on the topic in the comment space below. Thank you for your kindness and understanding so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch